What's up, Internet? It's your boy Cliff TheeShadowcaster here with another episode of the Animated Gamers Podcast, where anime and game nerds collide. Thank you for joining us. This week, we're going to review A Quiet Place Part 2. I have some thoughts about this, but I'm going to introduce my two good friends and co-hosts. First up, we have...
What's up, Internet? FoxTail here.
Rounding out the cast as always.
Ronnie G, the medicine man.
What y'all think of this film?
Yeah, I fucked with this joint, man. I liked it better than the first one. I like the first one, but like I gotta go back. Watching this second one, like how much I really liked it. I'm trying to figure out was part one just as good or if not better. It's just now I'm gonna go back and watch it and see like if my opinion changed to part one. It's just I don't know. Part one was slow for me, but I don't know if like going to the movies and watching part two in the theaters had anything to do with it because I watched part one like maybe like a couple years after it got released and I watched it at home. So I don't know if that had like any effect of it watching it on the big screen at the movie theater and then comparing to watching it on your 55-inch at home. So I'm sure that had something to play into it, but I'm definitely gonna go back and watch part one. But I did fuck with this movie. I did like how they started in the beginning, how everything it picked up right away from the beginning. It gave you like a little prequel of what happened. I'm glad they didn't spend too much time like on past events. They just showed you what led up to it, and they just picked it up all the way up to day like 460 something, if I'm correct. Right after that.
Yeah, something like that.
So like yeah, it was it just picked up right from there. So I fucks with it, man. Like, well, one issue I had with the movie, well, probably besides the ending. The ending is probably the biggest issue I have with the movie. But like other than that, like, so when they are getting to I forgot his name in the movie, Killian Murphy. When they're getting to him and they finally get there, and like he wants them out in a day, and the next day the daughter gets up and just leaves, and the mom just blatantly just goes up to the guy like, "You got to find my daughter."
Yeah, because Lee would have wanted you to...
Yeah, because yeah, Lee would have wanted you to do it, or he would have done it, and blah 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 blah. But I'm like, yo, you just this man just saved your life basically. You barge into his home right now, and you're telling, and your daughter's the one that left, and you're telling me that he has to go. And like he was just like convinced so easily to doing that, even though just before that scene, when Lee would do the fire up top to see if anyone was around, and then she asked Killian Murphy if you knew that was him, and he said, "Yeah, I knew, but people aren't the same right now." So basically, that's why he didn't go get him. But then all of a sudden, you're so easily swayed to go save this person that you haven't seen in 465 days.
Yeah, that makes sense to me because... Yeah, that whole scene was... It is what it is. I mean, they had to make The Last of Us happen. So I kind of rolled my eyes and just let it go. But you're right about that. I think that he was so easily swayed to go behind, and I think that once he had the conversation with the daughter, when like he reminded him of like you couldn't do anything last time. Here's your chance. I could see that being the motivation, but to even go out and find her in the first place, I think guilting him with the whole Lee situation, and Lee would have told you how special she is. It is what it is, but it was kind of weak for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that part was weak. It was 100% weak. Cause like it took no time for him to get convinced, even though he saw this fire being lit up for I don't know days, months, weeks, whatever, and you never decided to go over there, even though you knew who it was, even though you knew these people, like you knew their faces, but
Yeah,
you didn't go.
knowing that, yeah, for sure. I think regularly, if he didn't say that, it would have been like, okay, I would go out and. But to learn that he, you know, denied helping your family, all these countless times you could have, been with them. But I understand his fears because we did see that later on down the line
Hmm.
at the docks. But
Yep.
I could also see Killian Murphy's character, Emmett, I think his name was, feeling some guilt about his son. He took the
Hmm.
drawing and folded it up, put it in his back pocket, and then we can only imagine, how he felt, them dying that day.
Yeah, I'm
Everything
sure that
happened.
shit. I'm sure that shit took a toll. That shit will take a toll on anyone. But like to get convinced and just go in a matter of literally seconds. The next scene, he was on foot, ready to go. So you wouldn't travel across the cornfield to go see how they're doing because they're lighting up the fire and letting you know they're alive. But you travel across the city to
I think
like
this is
help
a
this girl
symptom of
that.
like he has to do something. I think this is the symptom of
Yeah,
that.
exactly, exactly. That's what it is. This is the main character. He has to do something. We have to write him so the fans feel sympathetic towards him. So I get it. I mean, like I do get it, but like it didn't ruin the movie for me. Like I also did like that they did bring up the fact that, hey, did you know it was him? Did you know it was us lighting the fire the whole time? Because how many times in a movie have we said, "Oh man, he knew we was here, so how come he ain't do nothing? Where the hell was he at the whole time?" So
Right.
they kind of explained what he was doing. Like he saw the fire, he knew who it was, but didn't go because like he saw what this world had changed people into. And I thought that was pretty dope. They kind of elaborated on why he didn't help because we watch a lot of Marvel movies and we're like, hey, where was Captain Marvel the first time Thanos attacked, or where was this person, or where was that person? So I did like they kind of like gave a little small explanation to it.
Eternals. Eternals.
Yeah, that too, but like I said, it happens a lot in movies. Like, where the hell was this person? Why didn't they do this? How come this didn't happen?
Right.
But
Yeah.
that little small input, like I thought that was pretty dope. And one last thing before I turn it over to you guys. Imagine being in paradise when shit's falling apart, right? And then a newcomer comes to your island and brings this fucking damn thing with them and fucks it all up, bro. Imagine that, dude.
Ujima
I'm sitting there,
Hasu and his people, yo,
yeah,
I'm so pissed
bro.
about that, bruh.
Me too, bro. I'm sitting there nudging
Oh
Kate when
my
he came. I was like, "Yo,
goodness.
this is my dude right here." I knew he was gonna die because he always die. He like Ned Stark. That played
Yeah.
the dude who
Unfortunately.
played Ned, the dude who played Ned Stark. He gonna die. He in the movie. He gonna die. Don't get too attached to him. He gone. So
Yeah.
that the whole time, like he died, he's like, "Oh man, did we pretty much outrun it? We went too fast. Maybe it went back to my
Need
family,
to
and then
go
it just
back to
died."
my family. That shit. Oh my god. I'm like, this is
Bro, imagine that
tragic.
you're in paradise right now. Well, the best paradise you can be in with the times the way they are, and you're chilling. Nothing's going on for like years probably, and you got this food. You're chilling. You're not worried about the outside world. Then all of a sudden, this newcomer come in, and he bring this shit with him. How many people was like blaming him, bro? You know how many people died on that island because of that
Mm-hmm.
shit? But like other than that, man, I did thoroughly enjoy this movie. I thought it was a lot of action. It was like I did feel like it tried to hit you in the feels a lot. So I don't know how I felt about that yet. Especially when she went back to the son's grave and put the ring on the little cross stake. So I think this like it tried to hit you in the feels a lot.
Yeah, for sure. What you think, Ron?
Um, After thoroughly enjoying the first one, like to the utmost, so I'll put that movie in high regard. I thought it was just okay. Like I enjoyed it, and I probably would want to watch it again to try to catch all the little tidbits. That's what I try to do. If it's a movie at least is decent enough to watch it second time, I'll tend to watch it again once it hits on demand or HBO or whatever case may be. But I had issues with it, like you guys said with the fire. Um, so they light the fire up, and spoilers obviously. They like the fire up basically in the beginning of the movie, and see that there's only one more fire going, and then they head that direction. And my question is, where'd all the other fires go? Like, these people attacked your place because you guys made noise. So where did everybody else go in that one day span? Because the day before, in the first movie, the father, was it John, lit up the fire that night before, and everything, and it was like 10 of them or 11 of them, if I remember the movie correctly. So where did everybody go in the 24-hour span when you guys got attacked? And that kind of bothered me. And also them getting there to Emmett, and immediately he's like, "You guys can't stay. You guys can't stay." And like you said, he gave in easily, but he said because it wasn't enough food, enough water. But if you actually check their house, John and Emily's house, they actually had a shit ton of food in their basement. They had rice, they had everything in there. So you couldn't just say,
But that
"Hey
junk
man,
flooded.
dude, the food's in jars. Rewind it. I took mental note of that immediately. Like, at least they still got their food and everything. Like in my opinion, it was no reason for them to really leave their humble abode, even though like it was messed up. Like like if you already have this comfy spot where there's already food and water and agriculture, then why just get up and leave because of one little skirmish that
Well,
happened at
I
your
think
house?
it's for more so for protection.
There were so many bodies too, and the shit was on fire
Hmm.
still. Like, remember when she went in there, the top was still
Hmm.
on hot the fire.
Yeah. I'm not saying like oh man, like everything was fine. Like it definitely was fucked up. The barn was on fire. The house was getting
And
flooded.
there were also dozens of monsters too. So remember at the very end when she killed the one, that was the thing that was so badass about the end of the movie. Why I thought number one should have been it, honestly, because you see on the security footage like dozens of them running towards him, And I also think that could possibly had to kill some of the people too by mistake. 'Cause they had to come from somewhere. I think that they were running and people got freaked out and they probably attacked other people. But anyways,
Possibly, yeah,
I think it was
possibly.
just like, I don't know. You you
Yeah,
you,
you.
you would have stayed there. You would have tried to salvage that and stay there.
But see, but what did we know to be true? That's that's
You'd have to
that's
make
how I
so
look
much
at it.
noise to fix that though.
Yeah, but do you really have to fix it? I mean, does it have to be perfect? Because you left that to go live where Emmett would live, which is basically some old construction place where it looked like super uncomfortable, dust everywhere, and then you went from this nice barn house, right? So it's all about what I know to be true. I know that this place can be safe, and I know this place can provide nutrition and water. Why would I go somewhere else? Like I don't
It's
know if that's true. So I like to
strength.
know
You could
what is
always
true.
double track back
It's
though.
it's
Yeah,
it's
you can
strength in
always
number.
so yeah,
It,
so you can always double track back. So that's actually where I was going with it. So when he was saying that there was no water and no food or anything, she could have easily said like, "Dude, we got plenty of water and food back at the crib, but I couldn't carry everything. We can go back. Let's go back right now. Like, let's go grab that water and food. I got jars of jam. I got so much, jelly there or whatever, we can go grab that and come back here. I just want to be with other people because then I know that I'll be safe. And then he could be like, all right, cool. Well, you provide the food, I'll provide the protection. So it could have been as simple as that. So that bothered me when he was saying like, there's no food, there's no water, and she never even mentioned that like, yo, dude, we had an abundance of food, we have an abundance of water back where we were. We just have to go get it. I cannot get it. And that to me was like troublesome. Like from that moment on, with as far as that goes, it was like she was kicking him out based off this thing. She has this thing, but nor is she mentioning it. So it's an easy fix, but somehow we're not getting it fixed. So that
Well,
was like,
they really never had a chance to get that far actually at that because at that the very next day her daughter got up and
And wasn't her
left.
son foot all mangled up too? They had to get
yeah,
medicine. That was
Yeah,
like the
bro,
thing.
yeah,
that fucking bear trap, bro. God,
right,
I think
yeah,
she
yeah.
needed to get
So what?
oxygen. I think it was
Yeah,
like
yeah, she had a lot going on. That is true, but so put yourself in that situation. I want to say, like, listen, you can't stay here based off these factors. There's no food, there's no water, and then you know where food and water is, and you're not going to say like, hey, listen, I know where food and water is. Let's go get it, and I'll just bring it back. No problem.
yeah. To like Cliff's point, like son just got mangled in a bear trap. They just got chased down by this damn monster. So adrenaline's high. They're probably tired as hell and not thinking straight. And like the food thing probably kicked into her maybe in the morning or when she was sleeping. Hey, I'm gonna tell him in the morning. We got this food over here. We can go get it.
And
But
you
then
tell
all
him
of a sudden,
immediately. He's telling you got to
but
leave in the morning.
but like he's like, bro, the fucking son's ankle's about to fall off. What do you think she's worried about?
Yeah, she's working.
And
Okay,
then
so
and then the daughter, and then the first thing in the morning, the daughter goes away. I don't think she's thinking about food right now, or I don't think she's thinking about, hey, this guy's still gonna kick us out. I think that's the last thing from her mind right now.
at that point, okay, I understand it. What I'm saying is when he said it, he's telling you you can't stay
all
here
right. So
because
aside from that, did they
it's
really
gonna
take? All
be
right. Aside from that,
right. So anyways, so then also like he was easily convinced to go chase him. You was just kicking us out, and all of a sudden you're super willing to help and risk your life after you basically said that we couldn't stay because your life was at risk or whatever the case may be. So that was a little troublesome for me. And then when they get to the Paradise Island, and then the fact that I mean, I guess in one sense you wouldn't have to have any reason to have guards, but then that's the more reason to have guards. So the fact that I said when he was creeping up on this island, I said before they even got there, I said, damn, if they creep up on this island, then these dudes are living like too reckless because you tell me you don't have knowing what's going on in the world, you don't have anybody on guard. Like there's no way he should have been able to just creep up on shore like that, like all willy nilly and just walk on there. Like there's just no. I'm not saying they should have shot him on sight, but I'm just saying like someone should have been able to seen that ahead of time, just off just the world that you live in right now. So then it made and then when the boat pulled up on shore, and then obviously we knew that one of the monsters, alien things, was on the island, and I was like, this right here is the reason why you need to fucking have some type of somebody at on watch. Somebody needs to be on watch. You telling me things just moving on shore and nobody's peeping it? Like no one's watching. And that right there just that takes me out of the situation because it's like no way y'all living this carefree. Even though you're in a paradise right now, you are safe and sound. It's like, dude, come on now, really? Like, and it did bother me when I always mess up his name. Digimon, Gmon, how you say it?
yeah.
But anyways,
Jimin Hasu.
yeah, Gman, yeah. So I knew he was gonna die too. Like Dave said, he always dies. It did kind of upset me. He said, "Gotta go back for my family." I was like, "No, don't do it. Don't go back. And the ending was also kind of annoying for me too. That she was like, they dragged that out for like 10 minutes. She was staring at that monster for like 10 minutes, man.
Like he owed him money.
Yeah, like I'm like, just put the thing on the thing, like just put it on the microphone. Like it was so annoying that that was like dragged out for that 10 minutes. Like, come on now. It's like just do it. And then I also kind of was annoyed that it just ended like that because obviously they got to make money and make a third one now. But I thought it was gonna give us the tidbit of how they took back over the world and everything was all right again. But it was like, nope, we'll save that for the third one. But I would definitely recommend watching it because I didn't think it was terrible, but maybe because my expectations was stupid high because I loved the first one, that it misconveyed what I actually watched.
So if you was her, you would have never left that house.
Left out no, but Odyssey was like I feel like she was too hasty to just leave it. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like I operate off what I know to be true. I know that it's true that outside of these fucking walls is all fucked up. I could run the risk of not even making it 15 feet. I know here to be true. I have food and water, possibly half of a shelter. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying she was way too hasty to just
They just
dip.
had a full invasion though. I think all right,
Yeah.
so yeah, they had a full.
Yeah,
There
I
was
mean,
like dozens
there's
of
no
the monsters
perfect
there.
way.
Their carcasses there. You
Yeah,
know, there
there's
was
no
a
per.
fire
Yeah,
there.
there's no right answer to it, right? Like you stay, I feel like that's if that's what you felt was the best decision. If you left, that's probably the best decision too. But I'm saying that like I feel like she was really hasty to just be like, all right, we gotta fucking get
I mean, her
motherfuckers out
husband
of here.
just died there. Like she
Yeah,
has kids there. You know, just the
and
adrenaline's going.
Right? Yeah, I'm not saying you can't make mistakes in those situations, but I'm just saying that I feel like she was hasty to do so because it was like, for instance, if these dudes operate off of sound, I'm thinking like you could live anywhere as long as you quiet as fuck.
but
You
she
can
saw the
live
fire,
anywhere.
so she knows somebody over there. So she
Right.
knows if she goes over there, there's somebody there, and you don't think it's strengthening numbers at that point?
I'm not saying I don't think it's strength in numbers. I'm just saying that I don't think that she had to just leave either. I don't think that either. I'm not saying that that she shouldn't have got help, but and then another thing about the fire thing, why did he do like the fire if he didn't want to fucking communicate or see people or talk to people or help people? He weird for
His
that. He could
point.
just stay quiet.
His point. He probably had to change your heart,
And then when they got there, he said no.
bro. I don't know. All right, shit happens.
Well,
Right. That's
hopefully
yeah.
we could do a Q&A. So I thought this movie. I went into this knowing that the whole thing they were going to drop tidbits for a third movie because nowadays you have to make a franchise. Because I don't even think this was necessary. Like I said, the first one was a great movie, but then they did some world building in here that was similar to, I would say, Cloverfield, where they talked about the explosion in Shanghai, which I thought was dope. But then they also had the thing falling from outer space, which could have been like a meteorite, or it could have been a ship or something like that. So we'll find out more in the third one. That could be, a direct sequel or, years into the future. There's also opportunities to do like spin-offs for, like you said, those other camps of people too. So I think this is kind of like one of the worst things they could have did for this movie, because now it's not necessarily just about like this one incident. It's about this whole world now with these monsters, and let's take them over. Let's have a military type situation, which, I could be premature with this, but don't be surprised if we see this in the third one where they're like strapped up and like really taking these things out now that they have this technology. Because going to the whole island situation, there's a couple of things I saw there that were kind of peculiar. The one thing that I think that was pretty cool about that is her showing the little boy how to use the technology. That he's still alive after this whole fight, and that could give him inspiration to like develop this technology in the future as a scientist or whatever. This could be like his opportunity, or that could be the person and catalyst to take this thing off, which I think was dope when they showed that. And I also think they could have also had a firefight there with that, because it was a sound system. They could have turned that on and did something with that. So that was a missed opportunity there.
Um. Also, the radio thing, where like the subliminal message. If y'all so say, why didn't you just say, "Hey guys, we're in the ocean"? If you really want people to go, why it had to be a subliminal message? That bothered me too. That bothered me too. I just remembered that.
They probably want to know if he was smart enough to get there. They don't want to say anybody there, I guess.
Yeah, because we
I,
have the rabid people there, so that it
I,
could have been
yeah,
like an
I,
elusive way to try to get the understanding. Because if they had it in plain English, those people had the boats. They
that's
could have
true.
found
That's
them.
true. That's true.
It's
Yeah, that's a
different
good way to
ways
look
that.
at it. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I didn't think about it like that.
I'm trying to think of if they did something similar in Fallout. I can't remember, but I think they had some type of system like that in one of the Fallout games. I'm sure someone will tell us. So the thing about the ending, that's one part I guess I could add some input on there too. Is it was the same thing as the first one. It was the same exact ending. You know, that's basically I did not like that whole, and it was kind of
Yeah, me
abrupt
neither.
too, because we of course we see the mirror of the kids empowering now. They're going to be the ones, like I said, like fighting back against these creatures. The son with the revolver, the daughter with the shotgun. But like, I don't know, that ending just kind of felt unfulfilling to me. Like, it was cool to see them do that, but it was just like the movie's over.
Yeah, now it's
Right.
like it's definitely a part. Now you have to make a part three
Yeah,
because there's
Right.
no way you just end the movie like
because
that.
part one
Like at this
reminded me
point,
of so many like of those one-off, really like B
Really
and
good.
C
Yeah.
tier like sci-fi movies that's like really make you really like, damn, what the fuck did I just watch? I love
right?
those types of things. And number
Right.
one was just like, was that for me? It was like, damn, they are
Yeah.
fucked, or she's gonna be a badass. Is Let my imagination think of what comes up next. Now you're
Yeah.
telling me what is happening, and like, it's not as good as, I'm not gonna
Your
say that because
imagination.
it was solid. I'm not gonna sit here and shit on the film, but it was like, why do we need these things? And this is like the problem with sequels in general. So it's not this movie in particular. It's not a unique thing, but I don't want to know more about this. Like, why do we need to know everything about the monsters, the origin of the monsters, how we gonna take them down, and the human spirit? We got that in the first one. We got enough. Now we're gonna find out all this other stuff about them.
Yeah, I'd have been cool if it wasn't a sequel either. It's not like one of these movies I was like, man, I can't wait for part two. I can't wait. I know this is Ron shit, but like,
Yeah, this was
I'd
kind
have
of
been cool with.
unnecessary. It was cool to see it, but I wasn't. Nobody was asking for this.
Hmm. There's a few movies nobody been asking for that's getting made. So
What, you mean that Joker too? Let's not talk about that, but that Joker too.
I
Oof.
mean, I wasn't gonna say it, but
Oof. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with what you said there, Clip. There. Like if I would have never got a second one, I would always just wanted that second one, which would have made the first one be better, right? And
Hmm.
now since I have it, it's out there for be viewed and consumed and shot down if nobody likes it. So it's kind of like now it's like my imagination is kind of ruined about like and yet again that's why I said like I went in with like stupid high expectations. So because I loved the first one so much, right? And it was so unique and things like that. And and that now you had Bird Box and all these other things because of it.
Bird Box.
That was
man,
bad, of course.
That Joe, I don't
I
understand
didn't.
why anyone says that. You know what? You're right.
Yeah, so so that kind of that if it was never a second one, I would have loved it. But the fact that I got one, and my expectations was high because I love the first one so much that I feel like that also just represented like if someone watched the second one the first like the first time, then they probably would love it, right? They'd be like, oh my god, it's so good. Now I gotta watch the first one, and then they might love that one even more. But the fact that I already had my expectations like stupid high it's probably one of the reasons why it was just like for me because I was just expecting way too much, and I feel like they held back because they wanted to make a third one too,
They
and
definitely did.
This is.
yeah,
I think this is like a studio thing because I hate when they capture lightning in the bottle, right? And now you have to mine it forever. Because I'm sure
right,
John
right,
wanted to
right,
do other
right.
things. I'm sure that he didn't go into this like this is going to be a three act movie or a 3-part franchise. That I want to do this film because this is his first time directing a movie. He's done like episodes of I'm sure of The Office and other things over time, but this is his like first thing. So now, but now he has to like do another one and then another one after this instead of really like getting his creativity going. Just like any director, that's why I'm glad that Jordan Peele was able to get out of that movie that he created the first time and not really get stuck into that. But I think that John is like kind of stuck in this position now.
I think it's gonna be like one of these movies where like it's gonna go to like three, four, five, six, and
Yeah,
it's gonna go straight to Sci-Fi Channel after like part three.
yeah, and then there's going to be some weird separation between him and the company. He's going to do his own thing,
Hmm. Yeah,
You heard it here first.
or it could be just But it
yeah,
happens. It happens a lot.
yeah. I see that happening. I think a third one gonna come out. Then you're gonna start hearing rumors about how they were at odds during the whole third one, and then maybe even the second one, but they still
The
got through
second
it.
one maybe,
And
but
then
the second
the
one,
third
yeah.
one gonna be it, and then they just start making that IP without him.
It's going to be
He's
Marcus
supposed
in
to
the
like,
future now. It's going to be like a flashback with him playing baseball with his
yeah,
father, played by
yeah.
someone else.
Dude, I would be very interested, like if it was like following this world, like with the different ensemble of cast. I'd be interested. I'd be interested in
See,
Nah,
that.
I
see.
wouldn't. I mean, It's either you
I
stick
mean,
with the same.
Why do you need
It's
more of
either
this though? Why do you
yeah.
need more? It's the
so
concept. The concept is interesting. Why do we need more of it?
Because the
right.
same same thing is happening to everybody. They're all getting attacked, whether they're going this route or somebody's going that route. They're all getting attacked. So
Right.
there's
So
nothing more to
I mean,
see.
I agree with, but I agree with you. But like I forget which one of you guys said it. Maybe it was Cliff saying about you'd be interested to see like how the other groups was like handling the situation too.
No, I'm saying they're going to give us that. I don't care
Yeah.
because the device. So with me, and this could be just me. This the reason why they have so many sequels. But a great idea is great the first time. I love it.
Right.
And if you tell me a story and it's confined in a particular box, so the box is you can't make sound, otherwise you'll die. Cool, I like that. Tell me a compelling story, and that's it. So now you're going to tell me 2, 3, 4 stories in the same box. It gets kind of boring after a while. The same thing with the Saw franchise. The same thing with the Cube franchise. Like it gets
Wrong
boring
word.
after a while. You keep doing the same thing with the same box on it, especially when it comes to horror, because it's now more interesting ways to kill people. Right? That's all it's
More
going to
fun.
become. The next clever thing you could do with sound now?
Right. Yeah. So I fully agree with that, and I'm not, I don't mean it to say like just blindly like I'm just interested, give me the same, give me these enemies again and stuff like that. I'm not saying that, but like if I got like a short story or something like that, I'd be cool with that. Is what I'm saying, or like maybe a comic book series or something like that. But I do agree that like once the idea is great, like for instance, like I said, the first one was way better because it felt fresh, original, and it felt like a really good story too, which it was. Like that's what made it amazing. And then if you make 10 of these motherfuckers, then is that's like Tremors, right? I love Tremors,
Yeah,
but
but after a while,
after a while, exactly. So after Tremors 2, it was like, all right, come on now, guys. Like how many times are we gonna run this desert people thing kind of? So yeah, not even to run into that, but yeah, exactly. So it's like I love it. I love the first one because it was unique and interesting and things like that. And the second one, okay, like you're just expanding upon the story. And the third one, hopefully you conclude the story.
yeah.
But what I'm saying is like it, depending on how it's presented, I wouldn't hate it if it happened. But I'm also not looking for it too. Like don't just run into the dirt because people are there to just buy it. Is what we're all saying basically.
I
Like
just see this
once,
being like a Walking Dead. Like, let's be quiet this way. No, let's be quiet
right,
this way.
right,
How did they?
right.
How were they quiet this way?
Right, right, yeah, yeah, I definitely get what you're saying, and I definitely don't want that saturation of it, but I definitely would probably be interested, just a little more of what they gave, as far as the back, like I love that they show like day zero, right? Like that was like
Hmm.
dope, like that was like awesome. Even though they didn't give us too much on it, I still love what I got. Like that gave me so much without giving me so much. Like they didn't have to show me how everybody in the world was dealing with it, but it did make. But the fact that these guys that lived on the island, it made me think of places like Tokyo, Australia. Like, are these places affected? They're surrounded by bodies of water. Like, are they affected? So it made my mind run. Like, damn, I wonder how it was in Tokyo. Or I wonder how it was in
Nah,
Australia. And that's all I'm really saying there.
I hear
nah,
you in
because
that.
like,
Now that you said that, it made me think of 28 months later. I really want that, but look how long it's been too. That's
Yeah,
a franchise that they gave
yeah,
us. And the concept is not simple. It's actually pretty weird the way that they do the rage virus and stuff. I actually wouldn't mind talking about or watching that again because that was a dope.
I
But
had it
anyways,
loaded up
like
on Amazon Prime.
okay, that,
I
that's
had that
that's
shit
my
loaded
shit.
up on Amazon
That's my
Prime.
shit.
There's
But
two of them, right? Killian
yeah,
Murphy's in the first one.
yep, 28 days and 28 weeks. But then
He
they
said,
it's different. It's different enough. But anyways, Ron, you just put me in a box.
he said, watch that, John. He said, watch that, John.
If they
Okay,
give us some
watch that,
time,
John.
if they give us this in like 2 years, because the first one came out in 2018. This was supposed to
right.
come out last year,
Last year.
2020. Imagine getting this again in another 2 years. They're
Yeah,
for
when do
sure making
you
a series of this. They're for sure doing a franchise, just like they did The Purge. Just like they're doing, like they're going to find a way to make a lot of this.
when do you stop watching this? Part 3 would be it for me.
Yeah, the part three.
Because I'm already committed to the story. It's
Ron
like I
watching
want to know
everything.
what
He reading
happened.
the comic
Yeah,
books. He listening to the album.
I do think you get a part 3, and they will make a full blown prequel from this. Mark my word.
Or how
You
it
heard it
happened.
here first.
Yeah, the aliens on their
You heard
home
it here
planet.
first.
How they had to rise against the people, the aliens they could
Mhm.
see.
Yep, and everything's a shared universe now. Cloverfield gonna be in this.
That's what
Dude,
Ron want though. He gonna listen to the audiobook. He gonna.
Yeah, he
shit,
gonna listen
you
to
you
everything.
got me.
He gonna be like, put Robert Pattinson in this job.
That's my boy. But in all fairness, too, going into this, I actually thought that it was going to be a prequel. I did not know
Me
that.
too.
I did not know I was gonna get more expansion of what the story would already happen to it. And I'm glad you said that because I just remembered. I meant to ask you guys that. Did you guys see that coming?
I mean, I
I
think I
thought they want to
mentioned
give
it to
us more
Cliff.
flashbacks. I thought
Hmm.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah, same.
I thought it was I thought at least half the movie right was going to be like leading up to John's death. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Well, I do like they didn't spend too much time on it. They gave you
I
enough to let
agree.
you know
Yeah,
what happened.
yeah. I like what I got. I loved what I got actually. I loved what I got. Like I just definitely thought it was gonna be a prequel or more there. So that was actually surprising to me when I was watching it. I was like, oh wait, they're done with that part of it. Okay, cool. Like I was like, damn, that's actually kind of wild. That going in seeing the previews and stuff, I just thought that we was gonna get way more of that than we actually did.
This the second best movie I've seen this year. First best movie, the best movie I've seen this year was fucking Demon Slayer. I don't think
First
anything topping that.
first movie we've seen in like since COVID. So
I'm
it's the
not
best
talking
movie
about
I
it.
I've
was to say
seen.
this is not
It's the
like
best movie I've seen.
You ain't watch Mortal Kombat?
I'm talking about the movie theaters. I'm sorry. Let me
I'm talking
rephrase.
about movies and I'm talking about movies in general. New
Movies in
movies,
general.
new movies.
Yeah. Actually, this probably be the top one. Yeah.
That's two for me. That Demon Slayer was number one.
I didn't see it though, so I didn't see December. So.
You don't like good movies? It's fine.
yeah, we gonna watch that shit anyway.
All right. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think we're wrapping it up.
yeah. I don't like watch good movies.
I'm sitting there trying to think of all the movies I watched this year, like new movies, and
I know it's Mortal
is this part
Kombat.
one? Is this the top of the list?
I watched Tenet
Oh,
and that shit was trash. So what can nobody say?
okay, hold up. It's Tenet. It's Mortal Kombat. No Remorse. Michael B. Jordan, John.
That was okay.
Coming to America 2.
Coming to
That was
America
funny.
too. That's the top one.
His House. Actually, no, His House was good. I fuck with that, Joe. That Joe just got pushed back to number 3.
Oh, that was
His
20.
House
That was last year. Hold on, that was last year.
Oh, that was last year?
Yeah,
You sure?
we did it for Halloween. Remember
Yeah.
around that time?
That was last year.
His House.
He's a ghost in there.
Damn, bro.
Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Yeah. So this would be number one. Coming to America would be number two.
Nah, Demon Slayer number 1. This one number 2.
Yeah. I haven't seen.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat
Demon
number.
Slayer was dope.
Now we're gonna see what that Conjuring gonna bring.
Yeah, that'll be the next one.
I heard
Yeah, we'll
number
talk
2 on
about
Ron list was Army of the Dead.
Absolutely. I forgot to even watch that. Thank you till you brought that up.
I completely forgot about it.
I
Blocked it out like
completely forgot about
trauma.
that, Joe. I just blocked it out.
I think we're wrapped up this week. I think we're gonna do play some Dead by Daylight leading up to the newest update. We'll talk about that pretty soon on the 15th of June.
Oh yeah.
So that's gonna be nice. I'm gonna try to use Nemesis as my primary character during that time. But anyways, we'll catch y'all next time. Make sure that you follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and of course